talking about digital transformation. I mean, it's a buzzword. We've been hearing about it for a long time. What is your assessment of how Sri Lanka is right now when it comes to adopting digital?
Starting with the government initiatives to take Sri Lanka to a digital economy by 2030, it was almost as if there was no choice given to companies, to people also to consume digitally. So there was a massive acceleration. So multiple sectors have gone into massive transformation, but of course there's a lot more to do, because especially the government infrastructure, if I may speak, the digital ID project should happen. With that, it will be a core infrastructure piece that we will have that can bring a massive transformation across all industries.
Mainly due to infrastructural issues, or do you think?
Could be for economic issues as well, because our focus was to eradicate the war and then get the infrastructure things in place. So digital took a back step, and also it could be obviously it's economic factors as well. But it's nice to see that it's happening rapidly. Exactly.
What insights can you share on how this sector is successfully adopting this?
We have been adopting great systems to streamline internal processes, but now the banks are coming up with very innovative solutions to do the last mile, the customer experience side for retail and commercial both. This is, of course, still we have to go to the branch, but there will be a time where we will do it all online. Technology is there, but it's just the regulator has to now enable certain initiatives.
Sri Lanka is on a good path to progress when it comes to digital transformation, but there's a lot more to do. We spoke about all of this and more with Maria Gooneratne. Stay tuned.
When you have an ambition, trust your instincts, move forward. This is your moment to shape your future. To be independent, to strengthen yourself. Your time is now. Accelerate your progress. Empowering your progress for a fulfilled life. Union Assurance.
For 30 years, LMD has been the voice of business in Sri Lanka, capturing the pulse of the nation's corporate landscape through its iconic covers. Each cover tells a story, from the first edition in 1994 to the present day, narrating key moments, leaders and trends that have shaped Sri Lanka's business ecosystem. Over the years, LMD covers have featured thought leaders, business pioneers and game-changing innovations, reflecting the evolution of industries and the economy. As we celebrate 30 years, these covers represent more than just publications. They are a testament to LMD's legacy of excellence in business journalism and its unwavering commitment to being Sri Lanka's leading voice of business. LMD, Sri Lanka's voice of business, a legacy of 30 years.
Hello and welcome to LMDtv. The topic of conversation today is digital transformation. And I'm here with the co-founder and CEO of LinearSix, Maria Gooneratne. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Talking about digital transformation, I mean, it's a buzzword. We've been hearing about it for a long time. What is your assessment of how Sri Lanka is right now when it comes to adopting digital?
Okay. I think starting with the government initiatives to take Sri Lanka to a digital economy by 2030,
Yes.
we are in a great place. And also the pandemic accelerated the transformation across industries. It was almost as if there was no choice given to companies, to people also to consume digitally. So there was a massive acceleration. And this started with, of course, Sri Lanka. Most of the companies were doing internal transformation before, but the customer-facing transformation happened again thanks to the pandemic. So some of the sectors such as retail, like if we can now order things, groceries over the internet and through apps. And also banks, I hardly had gone to a bank in the recent past other than to sign some documents. So banking transformation has happened very rapidly. Even in the healthcare sector, companies who are into digital healthcare,
Yes.
it's no more to just book a appointment,
Doctor, yes. Yeah.
but you can actually get a consultation through apps, right? Which is telemedicine. So multiple sectors have gone into massive transformations, but of course, there's a lot more to do because especially the government infrastructure, if I may speak, the digital ID project should happen. With that, it will be a core infrastructure piece that we will have that can bring a massive transformation across all industries, right? And we have seen like neighboring countries which has done that multiple years ago, and the level of transformation those countries have gone through is like way ahead than Sri Lanka. So we have a long way to go still. And one thing also to note is that Sri Lanka in the 80s, I think we were in the forefront of digital when in comparison to our neighboring countries. So maybe from the 80s to late 90s or early 2000s, we were there. But unfortunately, we've been lagging behind. So
Was mainly due to infrastructural issues, or do you think?
Could be for economic issues as well, because our focus was to eradicate the war and then get the infrastructure things in place. So digital took a back step.
Right.
And also it could be obviously it's economic factors as well.
Yes.
But it's nice to see that it's happening
Bouncing back.
rapidly. Exactly.
And we're seeing that in Sri Lanka, the best adopters, is the banking sector. We're seeing that they are taking, a forefront kind of forerunning role here, spearheading the whole digital transformation initiative for the country. What insights can you share on how this sector is successfully adopting this?
Again, I think the banking sector was early adapters of digital from the 80s.
Right.
Like from ATM switching to mobile banking, internet banking. We were some of the early adapters, even in the region comparatively. But you're right, banks are in the forefront.
Right.
And we have been adapting great systems to streamline internal processes. But now the banks are coming up with very innovative solutions to do the last mile, the customer experience side, for retail and commercial both, right? So some of the banks are now getting into systems where businesses don't have to come to the bank. Their ERP systems are connected directly to the bank that can do their payments and cash management. And also there are really cool mobile apps that doesn't, as a retail customer, I don't have to go to the bank. So originally banks were very paper heavy for core processes like obtaining loan or even like getting a letter for visa purposes. Now with advancement of systems, those are digitized. We have seen some of the leading banks in Sri Lanka adopting quick account onboarding processes where they have cut the time from 30 minutes to like a few minutes literally.
Wow.
And this is, of course, still we have to go to the branch, but there will be a time where we do it all online. Technology is there, but it's just the regulator has to now enable certain initiatives.
And what would you say was the secret of success? Was it that they were early adopters, or is it a mindset?
It's a bit of both. I think it's competition as well.
Right.
Because if one bank does something, then everyone else wants to do it.
Of course.
That's one. Second thing is banks have now realized the operational efficiencies that they can get by adapting digital. There are massive cost savings and there are massive compliance initiatives that have been accelerated due to digital as well. So time for audits have been cut short rapidly. Auditability and traceability are key things for this. And another key thing is, unlike those days, now we have platforms, especially low-code, no-code platforms, which are super agile. You don't have to go for like multi-year, multi-million-dollar transformation projects.
Right.
So you just take bite-sized projects and then you see results, which are visible to the board as well.
Of course.
And with that success factor, they can go on transforming piece by piece. So people are not stressed.
Of course.
Balance sheets are not stressed. Systems are not stressed because of this bite-sized approach to digital transformation.
Lovely. So that's a very systematic kind of approach that the banks are taking. If I ask you to dig a little like deeper, I mean, one of the basic things to adopt digital is to break free from the legacy kind of systems. Now we know that's what needs to be done, but how difficult is it, and how are banks and other financial institutions facing that?
I think legacy is the biggest barrier for transformation. It's two parts. One is legacy mindsets, legacy thinking people, and then legacy systems, right? And these are like implemented like 10 decades ago, most probably. So changing the legacy mindset has been a big challenge.
Right.
That's why I think these rapid deployment technologies where you can use
Small approach.
platforms that can integrate to legacy systems, you can now, without replacing legacy systems, you can orchestrate processors between multiple legacy systems, and this could be a mix of legacy systems plus new age applications that are deployed either on-prem or cloud, which can orchestrate the journey anyway and give a better experience, which is a better approach to digital transformation. Of course, there'll be a time where you will have to change the legacy, but you can do that slowly without going for a big bang kind of a thing to just replace, which is scary to anyone.
Of course.
Right.
So it will help change the legacy mindsets as well, I'm thinking.
So, of course, like if you see results,
Yeah.
even smaller result, you will change your perception, right, of something. So this is the approach that we are also taking in the banking sector, and it is the case with some of the larger conglomerates as well. Without tackling transformation as a daunting
Mission.
ambitious task, they take this bite-sized thing. Of course, then customers see results, the employees see results, board members, owners see results. So this is the case in the region as well. Gone are the days that you just try to replace everything. Right. And so technology is enabling that to become. And plus, then the AI revolution is here. Right?
Yeah.
With a lot of AI tools, now you can accelerate a lot of manual implementation work, which is again happening in some of the companies. Now, what took 2 months, you can do it in like 2 weeks. That's because of the automation that's available out there. So with all this, I think the two sides to legacy will vanish in time to come.
And you mentioned results, that you show results change mindsets. Can we break down these results into like maybe profits, revenue, operations?
Yeah, I think if you look at banks are profitable anyway, right? The next question is, how do I maximize my profits?
Right. Yeah.
One easy thing is to like cut down your expenses and also cut down your cost of servicing customers.
Right.
So when you automate, both these things can be achieved, because now you're building a platform that can A, do more with less, right? And B, you can now approach a wider audience, wider customer base, expand rapidly, try new products in the market.
It's a lot of growth opportunities.
Absolutely, because digital is not only to cut your cost, but it's also for exponential growth, because exponential growth is possible. Of course, Sri Lanka's population is small.
Yeah.
So there'll be a ceiling for all this.
Of course.
But still, banks and financial institutions can achieve a lot of bottom line impact because of digital.
It's time now to take a very short break, but we'll soon be back to talk more about digital transformation.
Display your brand message on digital screens at prime locations. The largest digital advertising network in Sri Lanka. Emerging media.
Welcome back to the show. We're in conversation with the co-founder and CEO of LinearSix, Gooneratne. Let's say when you do achieve digital transformation, like you said, monetary-wise also there's results, and also efficiency, like 2 months reduced to 2 weeks. If I ask the devil's advocate question, what happens to the people aspect? Because everyone has that big question: am I going to lose my job?
Yeah.
How do banks manage it, and what are the lessons that we can share with the rest of the industries as well?
Right. So, tricky question. But if I tackle it in a efficiency point of view, right, it's not only banks. So there are large tech companies like even Facebook, Microsoft have now started slashing like 10 to 15% of their staff. That's because there are lots of automation tools out there that can do things very efficiently, right? That's one.
Yeah.
Second thing is these organizations have had a lot of fat, inefficient people, inefficient processes, inefficient products that are not yielding good profits to the bottom line. So there will be some shedding. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. But the good news is now we as humans can do a lot more productively
With this.
with tools and technology that are available today. For example, like I don't compare documents anymore. I get an LLM or ChatGPT or Google Gemini to do it for me. Usually I would have taken about 2 hours to do this, but now it's like a matter of seconds. So I've increased my productivity just like that. So even in banks, I don't think employees have to worry too much.
Yeah.
Because with automation, AI, now they can issue many loans, they can process things faster, and hopefully they can go home by 4 o'clock maybe.
Of course, of course. And like you said, I mean, mindset change. What would be the easiest? I mean, results change mindsets of boards.
Yeah.
What would change the mindset of employees?
Time would. I think firstly it's time and results. And also when they have clear objectives, or rather I'll say clearer objectives, thanks to technology, advancements in artificial intelligence and automation, now you can do your forecasting, you can predict a lot very, very accurately. Goals are no more set by the things that are set by some board person or some senior manager. These are real, tangible things which are insights coming from data. Therefore, the predictability will be much higher even for employees to start working on a process. If there's for example, if there's a KPI that is set by a bank to say, hey, I want to get my customer out of the door within 10 minutes.
Okay.
Back then, it was just a dream. You had to scramble through so many systems and documents to do that. But now it's very predictable. You have results.
Wow.
You have statistics that this can be done. And with that predictable, I think the main employee mindset will change. Yeah.
Amazing. Murray, it's been like a very interesting conversation, but unfortunately we're reaching the end. So if I ask you my last question, let's say, like you said, people are going for bite-sized kind of deployments, digital transformation projects. When you are digitally transformed, then what? How can you keep on going, continuing that streak?
Okay. Very interesting. It's digital transformation is not an end. It's not just getting some systems in place. It's actually you are transforming how your business operates,
Right.
and it has to be a continuous thing. It's a journey, right? So ideally, companies in any industry should have digital leadership. It should start with the board. Digital savviness should
Always
start with the
top-down.
board. Absolutely. Because transformation should happen from top down. Bottom up, it will never happen. And then you had to also change your org structure. You had to bring people like chief information officers, chief digital transformation officers, or chief innovation officers. That leadership layer, which are digital savvy, should be established.
Right.
And these should be organization KPIs, annual KPIs, that are monitored and changed.
Yeah.
Because it's a journey, as I say.
Right.
And
You can't be complacent. Like,
you cannot. You'll be left behind.
yes.
It's not I'm done with this project and let's wait for the results. Results will come,
Yeah.
but then the results will also go away because now things have changed
Changing
again.
so fast.
Hope that answer.
Yes, I think. So it's always a growth mindset.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And a transformative mindset as well.
Transformative mindset. That's a better word. Thank you, Mario. We've been in conversation with the co-founder and CEO of LinearSix, Mario Gooneratne. Thank you very much.
Thanks
It's
so
lovely
much.
to be with you.
Thanks. I enjoyed it.
And thank you to all our viewers for joining us. Until next time, take care.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X. Thank you for watching and stay safe.